Good morning, everybody. It's Valloar talking to you today on Thursday, March 30th, 2017. And today we're going to talk about patch 7.2 for World of Warcraft, of course. And it's a very comprehensive patch. It's a big patch. And it's not so big for reasons that we're going to get into. So what we have here is we have the new dungeon, Cathedral of Eternal Night, which I don't know jack shit about because, well, I'm an LFR. I don't raid, mythic, or anything like that. So, I don't know what that is. We're going to skip that. Now, the class campaigns, very short. Very short. That's my opinion on those. You get to it, you hit it, you're done. You upgrade your artifact, you start researching new artifact knowledge. You get 26 after you're done, which is a huge increase. That's great, but the amount that you need to increase your artifact by a level, outrageous. We then have Demon Assaults, which I have not noticed in the least bit. They have not impacted my gameplay at all. Supposedly, demons are supposed to assault the zone that you're in. All world quests go blank, and you should participate in them. And I do say that you should participate because we're playing a game, and right now the game is to defeat the Legion. Flying in the Broken Isles, nobody's flying. Alright, they gated the hell out of flying. I will not be flying until Cathedral of Eternal Night is in LFR. I guarantee it. Guaranteed. I might get my reps maxed out by then for the new Broken Shore reputation. So we can earn more reputation now for the existing reps, and for every 20,000 rep points, we get to get some sort of a box, a crate from that faction, and we will see what's in it at some point in the future. 20,000 is a hell of a lot of reputation, so I would suspect the reward must be commensurate with that. They did something with PvP, something with brawls. I don't do that because I'm a pussy. So we're going to skip that one, and then we're going to go to Pet Battle Dungeon, which is for people who are more of a pussy than I am. So I don't do that because I'm right in the middle, I guess. Alright, so they did update some features, which, character empowerment, your artifact has grown stronger, and your artifact knowledge has continued to increase, which is going to increase for the duration of WoW's life. Okay, we are never getting another weapon. They're just going to increase it, change it, modify it, add new things you can put into it. Valor's hammer that he's wielding right now to heal your ass is the hammer that he's going to be wielding in 10 years. Transmogrification sets. You can set appearances in your UI to tell you what your transmog... What the fuck ever. Who cares? Nobody's looking at what you look like. You are looking at what you look like. When you go into a raid, when you're raiding with people, they don't look to see if you're wearing this helm, or they just look to see if you're naked because or they're just looking at you. You are the only person who cares about transmogs. Now, I'm not saying that you don't care about transmogs, but you are the only person that cares about transmogs, especially your own. Nobody has ever came to me and said, "Oh my god, I love your transmog. You look awesome." Doesn't happen. Alright, so class combat updates. The launch of Legion included many class updates to animation, sound, and spell effects. So what I've noticed when I play Valor is that they really fucked up my healing sound, which is, I play very auditorily. I don't know if that's a word, but I listen when I press my heal button. I listen for the sound, the casting sound, and then when the casting sound goes, I press the button maybe a quarter second before it goes off, so it, chain healing. But now they've changed it so that it doesn't even start the sound until halfway into the cast. And that is bad for me. I don't like that. They changed the way that Death of Decay works in Efflorescence, and I do play a Druid. I don't play a Death Knight. Fuck Hunters. The Balanced Druid's Efflorescence is and Death Knight's Death of Decay is absolute shit. That animation I have never seen. You know what? I have seen things as bad as that. I have seen Alexander in a movie theater. So they're about the same. Alright, so the Obliteratum Forge should now always be available to players and requires no quest line. Good change. Good change. So, you can now obliterate your stuff and get your stuff to increase your your crafted items. That's great. I think up to 875. That's fantastic. Requires 2 Bloods of Sargeras, and I don't know about you guys, but I have about 800 of those in the bank. Don't know what else I'm going to do with those, so might as well, right? All item level 815 crafted in-game gear will now be crafted at 835. Okay. Well, good change. They're doing that scaling up. They want you to get a certain level of power, and we're going to revisit all of that at the end of the video. All existing items between eye level 815 and 830 will retain their existing item level. So that means you should start recrafting. If you don't have any Obliterum put on them, if you haven't increased their item level. Some world quests that are related to professions now reward 1 skill point to their associated profession. I think that's a good change. I would like to have seen it say 10 skill points, because I don't know about you guys, but when I started playing again, right before Legion hit, I had 0 skill and I had to start on a brand new server. And I did not do a server transfer. World quests in Dalaran now reward credit for the Kirin Emissary, Profession World Quest, I'm sorry. All recipes that are dropped by dungeon end bosses on Mythic difficulty can now drop in dungeons in the first chest on Mythic Keystone difficulty. That probably should have been in from the beginning. Rewards should never go down in Mythic Keystones. Most crafting profession recipes will now grant skill ups to a higher maximum skill level, making it easier for crafters to reach skill level 800. We'll see, right? Alchemy. I don't do alchemy. Archaeology? No. Blacksmithing. Okay. Added a new craftable legendary item. Rethu's Incessant Courage. It's a belt. Can you wear more than 2 now? Because I am willing to bet that craftable legendary item is not going to be nearly as good as the one that I found. Or RNG'd, because you don't really find those fuckers. Cooking. Nomi. Oh god, Nomi. I don't care about Nomi. Fuck it. Inscriptions. Nothing for enchanting. Huh. So pretty much this is just updating to build legendaries. You know what? F that. Tab targeting, kind of a good change. I hated when I was tabbing and I would target a group outside of the pack that I was currently fighting. I'm sorry, target a mob outside of the group that I was currently fighting. It was annoying because somebody's going to get hit out there and I'm going to pull a whole new pack. And they're getting heroics, so who cares about that, right? You're going to keep pulling them, and if you're above 850 in a heroic, you're tanking. You're going to just wipe through it. You're just going to destroy it. Healing's a bit different because you have to deal with other people's stupidity. User interface changes. Players of the opposite faction now have orange names. Fine. Whatever. Seems like they're kind of setting us up for a division. Maybe we can expect some great open world PvP stuff in the future. You can now assign a specialization to an equipment set in the equipment manager. I'm not really sure what that means, but hopefully when you switch your specs, it automatically equips items for that spec. And another good change would be if we could have like a whole other bag system that we can store in other items that we use when we change specs, because we can carry them around. Or maybe if we can access the bank from anywhere, that'd be fine too. My favorite change, the Blood of Sargeras vendor now sells items, and I totally mispronounced Sargeras, now sells items in multiple amounts. Oh my god, that is so great. To prevent accidental clicking, the resurrection option to decline now has a brief countdown before it can be clicked. Okay. An open all button has been added to the mailbox. That only took 13 years. Achievements linked from other players now show your own progress on the same tooltip. That's pretty good. That's nice. Appearances, who cares? Player versus player. Nope. A quick join. Great thing. If you're going to queue randomly, your guild members can just join you, and you don't have to approve it. That's fantastic. Spells that haven't been moved to an action bar are highlighted in the spellbook now. Mousing over a spell highlights it on the action bar. That is fantastic. Pet spells can now be dragged onto the player action bar. I love warlocks, but fuck you, hunters. Player taunt now increases all threat calls against that target by 400% for 3 seconds. It's a good change. I know that the bears have been having some trouble with front end aggro, and I think that this is going to be a good change for them. 3 seconds really isn't that much time. It's 1, 2, 3, and in that time you might get off 2 attacks. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to be that's going to be the fix that bear tanks want, but it's now 400% up from 200%. It's a good change. Anything better is good, right? Torn and dwarf racial bonuses, brawn and might of mountain now correctly increase heals by 2%. Okay. Non-tank specializations once again benefit from bonus armor from gear. Whatever. Damage bonuses that tanks and healers get per artifact point spent has been increased to 0.65% for all tanks and discipline priests. And it was 0.5%, and the bonus has been increased to 1.3 for all other healers, was 1%. Good change. But not really. For reasons we're going to get into at the end of this. Oh, we're at 12 minutes. Oh, well, I'll move along now. Demon Hunter, don't care. Druids. Starfall, duration, and tick rate is no longer affected by haste. That seems like a bad change. Feral Druids now deal 4% more damage with the Rake, Shred, Swipe, Thrash, Brutal Slash, Moonfire, Ferocious Bite, Ashmane's Frenzy, and Rip. But it's a good change. Feral Druids needed to be bumped up just a little bit at 855, 860. I was doing about 200,000 DPS, maybe 225. Keep in mind, I'm not a top-end player at all. This, will bump me up into like the 275,000 DPS. Until I reach about 880, and then, it's exponential gains when you're talking about percents. At least at this expansion. Guardian. Intimidating War now roots its targets in place. Okay. Mangle damage increased by 15%. Great change, right? Talking about that front end aggro generation there. That's going to be good. Thrash. Direct damage increased by 15%. Fantastic. Swipe. Damage reduced by 25%. I think that when I'm surrounded by 8 to 10 mobs in a heroic, maybe more, I'm going to see a decrease in DPS there. Not that it matters if you're tanking, right? If you have some skilled DPS with you, whatever. But isn't that going to affect overall threat generation with Swipe being reduced by 25%? I mean, we're Thrash, so what is that? Every 5 seconds you get a little bit more damage. But Swipe, I mean, seriously, it was Swipe to victory, right? Hunters, who the fuck cares? Mage. Geez, you know what? Mages are so complicated, I can't even begin. Monks, don't play a monk. Paladin, Judgment of Light no longer has a cooldown between its heals on each target. Great change. Paladins might see a small increase to their heals per second. And we're going to move on since we're at 14. Class Halls, artifact researchers now have explanatory dialogue options when you have completed all work orders they offer. Alright, so let's talk about dungeons. The eye levels of all gear found in dungeons has been increased. Great. Of course, they have tuned the heroics and mythics to be a little bit more difficult. All random heroic dungeons now require an eye level of 825 to Q. Okay. Lower Karazhan and Upper Karazhan have been added to the random Lungeon Heroic list in Dungeon Finder. Always liked Karazhan, always back in the Burning Crusade, loved it. I mean, every Sunday I'd wake up and I had a small team of friends. We'd all get together over TeamSpeak and we would go raid Karazhan every Sunday. We never cleared it because we sucked. But we had a great time. A lot of friendships were born then. Alright, so then we got the Archway and Court of Stars have been added to the Random Legion Heroic list in Dungeon Finder. They always should have been. I mean, they're kind of shit dungeons, if you think about it. You know, the Court of Stars is just absolutely huge. And it takes forever to run. Alright, then we get the Mythic Keystone dungeons, blah, blah, blah. You know, they tuned it so that you can't just run Maul Souls anymore to get all your artifact power. They've apparently tuned all the other dungeons to give the right amount of artifact power. Those fucking Co-Seagulls now add enemy forces credit. It's good. Onto the items. Nothing there of any important, really. Broken World Quest items. I'm sorry, Broken Isles World Quest items were scaled to 860. Okay. Legendary items. Legendary items now require a level of 101 instead of 110. Great change if you're twinking, but to be honest, I never found an artifact before 110. And I think I have 5 artifacts. Not on my main, but just 2 on Valor, 2 on my Druid, and then 1 on my Shaman. There's some player versus player change, and then they fucked up the Nighthold. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and if you like, please give it a thumbs up and press that subscribe button if you really want to. I'm going to go back to play WoW now.